Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chris. I'm joined by Eric. We just got finished watching Nightmare on Elm Street, reimagining of the horror classic from 1984. And you're a huge fan of the series.
Yeah.
So what did you think of how they carried this story forward?
I actually wish they'd reimagined it more. You know, I'm not adverse to remakes in general. I think there can be some good ones. However, I think that they were repeating too much from the original. It's like they really wanted to repeat all those famous set pieces. Freddy comes out of the wall above Nancy's bed, the glove comes out of the bathtub, and of course the girl gets pulled onto the ceiling and killed. And I think sometimes it was like bigger effects maybe, but it really didn't outdo what the original did.
I feel like the above the bed scene was exceptionally kind of hokey looking.
Yeah.
Like just kind of looked like cheap effects. Speaking of effects, Freddy's makeup was a big departure over the Robert Englund makeup for the original series. Much more melted. Looks much more like a burn victim. So how did you feel about that, the design of Freddy, and then also the character of Freddy?
I think Jackie Earle Haley is really good in the role, you know, taking on a role that we're so used to Robert Englund playing, so I thought he's great. I do think the makeup, it's creepy when you first see it, but as the movie went on, I kind of realized maybe because it's more realistic and he's kind of more melted looking, he can't be as expressive. He can't ever really smile, and I kind of thought it hurt the performance a little bit because it was holding back Freddy from being able to just make more expressions.
This is a much darker Freddy.
Yeah.
He's much creepier, less jokey than the one that we're used to, and he's also, they delve way deeper into the pedophile thing.
Yeah, that was, I mean, on one hand you can say that's effective because I think it makes you feel legitimately sort of disturbed watching the movie.
Squirm.
Yeah, I do think though that it's such a heavy topic to have brought up in this movie, and the movie isn't really prepared to deal with that. You know, it's a Nightmare on Elm Street movie produced by Michael Bay. They're not going to deal with the psychological ramifications of kids who've gone through being molested. So at the end of the movie, I kind of felt like, I don't know if they should have even included that if they can't sort of really give you what you need at the end to feel like these kids got through this journey.
Right. Bottom line, is it scary?
I think it's scary in the sort of jump scare way. There's a lot of times where Freddy, you know, there he is suddenly.
I counted 9 of them, I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And I don't think the movie is very sort of frightening. There's some really cool transitions when the characters go into dreams. I really like the visuals there. But if you're looking for just sort of the pure popcorn experience, you're sitting in the theater, something happens, you all jump up, it delivers to some extent, I think, on that.
Yeah, I thought it was a really tense experience. Every time somebody would slip into a dream state, I was like, oh, here we go again.
Right.
But ultimately, how did you feel the movie worked?
I give it 2.5 out of 5 stars. You know, look, there are worse movies in the Freddy series, part 5 and 6, for instance. But I just think as a remake, the big problem is they don't do enough to make it a different film. I think they should have taken Freddy, the basic setup, and then gone in their own new direction, own new set pieces, and there's too much of a reliance on what happened in 1984. I'm
not as big a fan of the Nightmare on Elm Street series as you are, so I thought that this was kind of a fresh imagining, and I like Jackie Earle Haley in this role. So I thought, you know, it's a good ride.
Well, thanks for checking this out, guys, and check out the full written review on IGN Movies.